Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to talk about why you must be mean to your kids.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about why you must be mean to your children. Mean? All you talk about all the time on these podcasts is loving on your kids, and you're going to title something why you must be mean to your kids. So I'm going to give you two instances, and this is great. Caleb, I know you're listening, where I have been called mean in the last 2 days at the bus stop in the morning, or my son has been called mean. So one, we have a family next door to us. They have 4 children. The oldest is turning 7. My son is turning 8. And but they're 2 years apart in school age, simply because their birth date. My son is August 31st, so he's the youngest in his class. And then the neighbor's son is my son's in the 3rd grade and his son's in the 1st grade. Why? Because he's mid-September is his birthday, and he's one of the oldest in his class. So my son, and this is admittedly so, I mean, they're kids, they have these quirks and isms and whatever. They play fine together. They enjoy each other's time. Their son will come over to our house. My son will go over to their house. Kids have a great time playing, very respectful to each other. But my son, when it's bus time, he wants to hang out with his friends that are in his grade, and he doesn't interact with the neighbor as much. So the neighbor's kid is a little hurt, right? Like, why is he my friend? And then he doesn't talk to me on the bus and blah, 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 blah. And I've had these discussions with my son to treat him the same no matter what. But I also can't control him. I can guide him. You can lead a horse to water. You cannot make him drink. And, you know, if that's the way he feels, who am I to tell him how to feel any differently? I just try to empower him to treat people the same. If he's your friend, he's your friend. You know, I know you have other friends and you don't want to be judged, but you really shouldn't care what these other kids are thinking. If he's your friend, he's your friend. So the neighbor's son yesterday morning calls my son mean, and he has his back to everybody, and everybody's at the bus stop chatting it up like normal, and I see him off to the side, and I walk over to him and say, hey, what's going on? And he says, Christian, my son, is being mean to me. I don't understand it. When I come over to your house or he comes over to my house, we play, everything's okay, and right now he's just being mean. I said, wow. I said, you see those bushes over there? He goes, yeah. I said, if Christian came up to you and he pushed you inside the bushes and then kicked you, and he starts laughing, I said, that would be mean. But I'm looking at Christian right now, and he's not doing anything but waiting for the bus. Now, I said, would you define waiting for the bus as being mean to you? He's like, no. I said, and listen, it's first thing in the morning. He's not the best to me in the morning. He's not a morning person. So maybe he's just not talkative in the morning. You never see him really talk to anybody in the morning, right? Yeah. I said, so why do you feel the need that he needs to come up and greet you and hug you and high five you and all this stuff? Maybe he's just being himself and you want more attention. And because you're not getting the attention that you want, you're labeling him as mean. Is that fair? And he thought about it and he goes, no. I said, so I don't think he's being mean. I think he's just being himself. And for whatever reason, you desire his attention right now. I said, can you just let him be him? And when you guys have a good time together, you have a good time? Because friendship is in good times and bad times. Friendship, you guys are friends whether he's talking to you in the moment or not. You don't need that reinforcement. Trust me, he enjoys playing with you. But he's not going to enjoy it if he feels like he always has to. He needs to engage with you when he's comfortable, and you need to be able to receive it when he does. He's never been mean to you. So, do yourself and do him a favor and don't paint that picture of him. And he kind of thought, and he says, okay, Mr. Ryan. And I said, you going to have an awesome day the rest of the day? And he says, I am. I said, awesome. Here comes the bus. And the bus came. So now fast forward to this morning, and I'm mean again. Like, this is being mean to kids, right? Because they're not getting their way, or they're not getting the attention, or you're not saying the things that they want you to say as a parent. So we have another little one at the bus stop, and his dad is an insurance adjuster, and he's always on the road, and his dad drops him at the bus stop, and he says, hey, do you mind watching him get on the bus today? I kind of got to get on the other side of town and beat traffic. I was like, get out of here, do your thing. And this one, kindergartner, he's like his father. I call him, I said, you're just like daddy. You're a mini version of your daddy. And I said, and that's a good thing because you have a great dad. And he kind of smiles, but he just starts wandering up the road, 2 houses down. And I call his name and I say, hey, you need to get down here and you need to wait for the bus. And he comes down and he says, why are you so mean? I said, well, let me ask you a question and then I'll answer your question. I said, my question to you is, did your father ask me to make sure you got on the bus safely? He says, yes. I said, if your father was here, would you have gone all the way down the road? He says, no. I said, well, your father asked me to act like him and watch you, so I expect you to behave the same way you would behave with your father. And you didn't do that. So I wasn't being mean. I was just creating the rules because you're unfamiliar with mine. I said, and I'll tell you this. That's not being mean. That's just making sure that you get on the bus safely. I said, and the bus is late right now. I said, let me ask you a question. You're 2 weeks into kindergarten, right? He says, I am. I said, do they have a lot of rules at school? He said, yeah, they got a lot of rules. I said, and your daddy asked me to watch you. So you know this, if the bus doesn't show up today, I get to watch you. And you know that I have way more rules in my house than school can ever have. And my son starts laughing. And he goes, his eyes get really big. I said, so you get to stay with me and play by my rules all day long. And if you think I was mean this morning, oh, you're going to have a long day today. So I would cross my fingers and my legs. And I would hope that that bus came around the corner if I were you. And just as I said that, the bus came around the corner. He's like, the bus is here. It worked. And I said, you have a great day. Follow the rules. Behave at school. Be good. And we'll see you later this afternoon. But I was labeled as mean because I created a boundary, right? When kids get boundaries created and they don't like them, they will call you mean. If kids aren't getting what they want, regardless if you're mean or not as adults, they're going to call you mean. I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this. Kids don't know the definition of words. Because mean is not what I was. I was clear. I created boundaries. I let them know the rules. I give them perspective. And because they're not used to always having an adult pour into them, right? Challenging them, asking them good questions, making them think for themselves, giving them some critical thinking skills. Sometimes that can be perceived as mean. I will be mean 100% of the time if I'm empowering little ones to be better versions of themselves. And I encourage you to do the same. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.